Mark Bannerman does some wonderful videos, guys. It's brilliant. He just done one in the snow in England, and he said it was -3. It's 31 degrees here in Melbourne, and I'm in the suburbs obviously, and I hope the sound's working. But it's remarkable, some of the videos he's put up. Now the one you're going to see now is where there's 15 police, I think there's 2 sergeants, at least there is one anyway, that were allowing the gas works to dig up the footpath to cut off the gas to this house and electricity officer that were going to do the same thing. And it just carried on, and the police were employed by the gas company. In other words, they're actually working for them. You can hire the police now. That's something that we must check up on here as well. I dare say you could, because they're all private corporations. But this was ridiculous. Now this one peace officer, and I've been trying to get them in England to go back to the Shire Reef, which is the origin of the sheriff, which went to the United States. I'll just put a little clip of that video at the time they went, and a very short clip, so you can have a look at that. But anyway,
the history of the office, we can go back at least to the year 890 AD. So we're talking 1100, 1200 years ago. King Alfred was on the throne, and he wrote this document called the Book of Dooms. It sounds like some kind of modern day video game or something, but really it was about crimes and punishments. In other words, if you commit this crime, if this is your offense, then this would be your doom, this would be your punishment that would go along with it. And in this Book of Dooms, he references a particular official, a particular official known as a reeve, R-E-E-V-E, kind of loosely translated as a guardian. And the reeve was the king's representative into a particular local area, a particular geographical jurisdiction. And the reeve was responsible for maintaining law and order and peace and safety within the community. They also did things like tax collection, mediated disputes, and they had the authority to call out something called the posse comitatus, which I'll talk about here in more detail in just a moment. And so these reeves were assigned to a geographical jurisdiction known as a shire. And we still have shires over there in England today, don't we? You got Devonshire, Lincolnshire, Worcestershire, if you need some steak sauce. And so the reeve was the king's representative assigned into a shire to do all of those things. So he was known as the reeve of the shire reeve. And that's where we get the word sheriff from. So now you know that little bit of trivia. That could be the million-dollar question. You won't even have to call me for a lifeline. Now you'll know that where the term sheriff comes from. The term constable also has an interesting history. The constable was a quartermaster in the king's army, and he was known as a count of the stable. So now you know where that comes from. Fast forward a few hundred years, and we got the Norman Conquest. William of Normandy comes into England. King Harold is on the throne. King Harold is defeated, but William is so impressed by the tenacity, the courage, and the loyalty of the sheriffs that were there under King Harold's rule that he kept that office under his time of rule as well. And then nowadays in England, the office of sheriff is still there, but it's pretty much kind of fallen into disuse. There's a weakening of the authority. It's much more ceremonial in nature. But think about this. When the colonists came over here and began to colonize America, they brought with them the common law of England, and they brought with them this office of sheriff. And in 1634, we have Captain William Stone being appointed as the first sheriff on American soil in Northamptonshire, Virginia. And then look at this, just a few years later in 1652. Folks, this is 120-something years before we declared our independence from Britain.
If they were to set up that, they could stop all this. The police were there to keep the peace, but there was no breach of the peace, so their actual being there was causing a breach of the peace because it was upsetting some people. Now, this particular one man, a peace officer with a red beret, I'd love to have a chat with him. He made a deal with the gas department, and he sorted the whole thing out. The police agreed, the police left, they stopped digging up the road, the other crowd came up and filled in the little bit of diggings in the footpath, and everybody was happy. This is a brilliant outcome, a brilliant video. Thanks, Mark, and thanks for allowing us to share it. I think it's been shared by one others in Dominic in England. He's sharing it as well. But we have to get back to basics. and the Sheriff's Department, which will move to America, and I'll ask you to send, I'll put that clip up. That's where the power lies now. But getting the people in England, and even in Ireland, and even in Australia to a certain degree, is asking people to change religion. London News signing off. Beautiful day. Health is back to normal, I hope. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please share it, because we have to, oh, there's a fly fluttering, we have to make a stand. And through common law and the Sheriff's Office is the only way to do it. Bye for now.
A lot of police turned out, didn't they?
Yeah, far too many police. 13, 14, 15 police, again, for a gas meter. I have to ask you, is this police corporation actually value for money, and are they doing what they're supposed to be doing for you? Because to me, today, they weren't here to serve and protect, or protect and serve. They were here to see if they could get somebody to kick off and arrest us. And that won't happen. So long as I'm around, that won't happen.
Quite often the police will say, we're here to prevent a breach of the peace, but it's my observation when the police turn up, they're the ones who create it, because people look after themselves and don't breach the peace.
No, I think at the end of the day, this breach of the peace that they use, many, many times they arrest people for this, it goes to court, it gets thrown out, because there was no breach of the peace. The mere fact that we had 13 police officers stood there with a gas, and that, to me, that's breach of the peace, because I felt threatened, those people felt threatened, and that is breach of the peace. So, I don't understand what they're doing here. I really don't.
12 months ago, I was reliably informed that Derbyshire Police contacted YouTube to have this video removed from the Bannerman channel. Many new subscribers in 2024 will have never seen this video I'm about to play for you. Unfortunately, I have had to remove some of the original footage due to the fact YouTube appeared to have complied with the police request to have it removed. I will now play for you a quick preview that highlights what you read below. Did Derbyshire Police get hired by the energy company or not? The paperwork is included for your reference, and in accordance with Section 25 of the Police Act 1996, any person can hire the police for special services. 2025 is going to be one hell of a year. Have a happy new year, everybody, and let's see how the sons and daughters of Satan conduct themselves throughout 2025. Sergeant Scribbins, do you know where he is?
He's down there to the left somewhere, to your right.
Alright, oh, hello.
Right.
I saw you give me the finger there.
The finger? Not that
Can you tell me why you're here today?
Yes. Can we just deal with this and then I'll be happy to answer your questions. We're only here in order to prevent a breach of the peace.
A breach of the peace quite often happens when the police arrive.
What's going on?
I'm arresting you.
What for?
What
for? What for? Get off, mate! I do not consent. Listen, listen to me. Listen to me. Why are you pulling me for? I'm not on tour.
You need to extend your safety barrier, health and safety issue. So, for reference, we're actually breaching health and safety now. You need to give people ear surroundings because you are breaching health and safety right now. Health and safety issue, and you're not going to do anything about it?
No. I am here to execute a warrant.
A warrant? What's the warrant for?
The warrant was to inspect a gas and electric meter.
For safety?
Yes.
Did you obtain that warrant fraudulently?
Obviously not.
How do you know it's obvious? You're like a Viking.
How do I?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, thank you.
How long's your hair?
Shoulder length.
It's like a girl's length, isn't it? You don't look like a Viking. Have you ever considered growing a beard? What's the footpath closed for?
No comment.
Where would I get a copy of that warrant or instruction?
No comment.
Who do you work for?
No comment.
And are you video recording?
Yes.
Who's your data controller?
No comment.
You have to tell me that by law. How long is yours under that hat? He's in a bobble, you see. Is yours in a bobble? If you like what you have watched, why not like, subscribe, and look out for the next videos. What you will see in this video production is what is commonly known as off-the-cuff independent documentary filmmaking. There's quite a large presence on the street, lots of police here. This is a big operation. Cadent. Alright. Just covering this news story, I do believe electric and gas have turned up. Are you here to change some meters or dig up the road?
I'm here to drop off some barriers, mate.
Drop off some barriers. So are you going to dig up the road?
I'm here to drop off some barriers.
It looks like the police are working in conjunction with Cadent. I believe you've got some barriers coming. Are you going to dig up the road? Are you going to change some meters? Can you tell me what the reason for you being here is today? I'll take that as a no comment.
Good morning, Dash Police Press Office. Joe speaking.
Oh, hello, is that the press office, Derbyshire Police?
It is, yes.
Yeah, can you just give me some information regarding an incident that's ongoing?
Sorry, who am I speaking to?
You speak to Mark. I'm an independent reporter, journalist.
Right, okay. What's the incident?
So, at Truro Close in Derby, you've got an ongoing incident where multiple officers have turned up, allegedly to prevent a breach of the peace. And it's my understanding that this was a pre-planned operation. Can you confirm if this is?
I won't be able to confirm that to you right now because I don't know what the job is, so I'd need to have a look at what was going on.
I've been in touch with the press office and they haven't got back to me with any details yet. Can you tell me why you're all here today?
You'll have to contact the press office again, I'm afraid.
Yeah, why is that? Because obviously a matter of public interest, they're going to be wondering what's going on and the press office hasn't got back to me. I've contacted them.
You'll have to wait until they contact you back, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Who's actually in charge here today?
One of the sergeants is just down here. He'll have the stripes on. The sergeant will. He's just there.
Do you know his name?
He's just here. There's two of them that you can speak to.
All right, thank you.
Scribbins, just there.
And Sergeant Scribbins and who?
I don't know the other one's name.
Thank you. Sergeant Scribbins, do you know where he is?
He's down there to the left somewhere, to your right.
All right. Oh, hello.
Right.
I saw you give me the finger there.
The finger. Not that
Can you just tell me why you're here today?
Yes. Can we just deal with this and then I'll be happy to answer your questions. We're only here in order to prevent a breach of the peace.
A breach of the peace quite often happens when the police arrive.
Billy has got bail conditions not to competence address.
Excuse me?
Let me just speak to
No,
you.
you're a public servant, yeah? These are a corporation. You're not even meant to be talking to them.
Yes,
You're meant to
but
be talking to me.
Listen,
and helping
that chap over there
me.
just asked if I can facilitate Billy seeing the paperwork.
Yeah.
Is that something we can either email to him or they can take a photo in order to show him?
They can contact Birmingham Magistrates Court to get a copy of it.
Right, but are they
They
entitled
want to take a
to-
photo of Birmingham's jurisdiction. We don't just need the warrant, we need all your permits, we need all the authorisations, who signed for the road to be dug. When they see every bit of paperwork, not just a warrant, what's not signed and fraudulent.
This document highlights what appears to be a preemptive strike on Billy at his home for a civil matter. The paperwork did not lie, but Derbyshire Police may have done, and cause a breach of the peace.
Can I see that paperwork then? So who can see that paperwork? Him. If he's not allowed to this address, to this street, with all of these people here, how's he meant to see that letter then? Well, there you go then. So how can he be on bail? No, he can't request it. You go show it him. Because you know it's fraud, it's bullshit. That's what it is.
Billy has currently got bail conditions restricting him access to his property in the street due to the allegations of his bail condition regarding a previous matter when the police assisted the bailiffs to approach his home. Billy did everything deemed reasonable in order to not breach the alleged unlawful bail conditions imposed upon him by Derbyshire Police. Billy was patiently waiting at the end of the street for the representative of the operation to discuss why they was there. The discussion was abruptly cut short due to a disagreement in law. As you can see in this video, PC Reeves Middleton immediately and unannounced approached Billy and proceeded to arrest him for breaching the alleged High Court bail condition and cause a breach of the peace.
Sorry, do I know you? No. So how do you know me then?
The name's on the account.
That's not, no.
You were out with Billy.
Hang on a minute. Let me explain one thing to you.
Right, okay.
I've got. So you don't want me to explain one thing to you?
We said.
All right.
Right, see you.
What's going on?
I'm arresting you.
What for? What for? What for? Get off, mate. I do not consent. Listen to me. Listen to me. What are you pulling me for? I'm not on Truro. Get off. Get off. I do not consent. Get off. I'm not even on the street. I'm not even on the street. Get off. You're live on Facebook, mate. You're live on Facebook, please. Just sit up, Rich. Rich, it's come down to talking people. And you lot are doing this. To negotiate, mate. Please listen to me. Please not done anything. Please listen to me.
Dad, tell you what.
Unbelievable, you lot. Should be ashamed of yourselves. And Drapman.
Oh my days.
Right, he put 1 foot there.
Oh my
Literally.
days.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. You are the criminals. You lot.
Shut the fuck
look at him.
Take me to the fucking...
Yeah, I must warn you, that's very important.
Shut up. You can swear where you like.
Listen. Listen.
Don't talk nonsense. Go back to study law.
Whatsoever. I've not even been on the street. Oh my days. I've not even been on the street. I've not even been on the street. What the heck? This is a setup. This is a setup.
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
I've not even been on the street. I've just stood at the end of the street and they arrested me.
Hey? Unbelievable.
What? I'm not resisting arrest. You do not have no authority over me whatsoever. I did not consent to this. I was stood on the road. Yeah, this is.
You do know you can't handcuff people from behind and put them in a vehicle, don't you? Hey.
That's fine.
Hey. What do you mean it's fine? You happy with that?
Yeah.
Hey. You're happy you're breaking the law yourselves?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Excuse me, sir. Can you stop swearing in the street?
Right, we can swear as much as we like.
Section 5 public order.
No, it's not a public order, in fact, at all.
There's other people.
So stop making stuff up.
What's he been arrested for? Breach of whatever. He's about.
It was about that far over the line.
I'm happy to answer some more questions after we've dealt with what we need to deal with. All right, thank you.
So while your sergeant's just making you hang around to wait for something to happen, you want to say anything to the people watching?
Not at the moment, no.
I'll come back later then.
Fine.
What about yourself, sir?
No comments, mate.
Not today? Right, so let's just see what's going on here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So now you're here for breaching the peace. You know, turning up here, you have actually breached the peace under Section 26.
What I would say, guys, is if you want to make any complaints in regards to why we're here,
I know why you're
and
here.
who's authorised why we're here, then
you've been
please
paid.
refer it to the.
Are you all constables today? Constables.
Constable sergeants, yeah.
Constables, or you're
Constables and sergeants.
So you've been paid. Because that there just states that you work for a corporation.
Well, we work for the police.
No, the police are a corporation.
Right, okay.
So you've been
like
employed now by.
If you want to ask any
another
questions in
corporation.
relation to
Would it be possible
legislation,
to see
or anything?
the actual paperwork that gives you authority to come here, please?
There isn't any paperwork giving us any
No,
authorisation
not
to
you.
be here.
For the reasons why you're here.
Oh, we haven't got access to that. Like I said, it's a civil matter. We're
It's
only
a
here to
civil
breach
matter.
a breach of the peace.
So you're breaching the peace on a civil matter by turning up on a civil matter.
if you
You
believe
just,
that.
well, no, that you
Look,
just
if you
claimed.
just allow us to get on with the work, I'm not
What
being
work's
obstructive,
that?
but if you want to ask any questions,
I am asking questions.
please
So,
can you direct him to?
well, you've given yourself up as authority here, in
Yeah.
charge here. So you're my first port
But
of
I'm
call.
also here responsible for the management of these officers.
So yeah,
Because
well,
I wouldn't
totally
want to
understand.
be not seeing what they're doing whilst talking to you guys.
Okay, so you've just admitted it's a civil matter. So why are you here?
Prevent a breach of the peace.
You're breaching the peace by being here.
Prevent.
No, no.
Well,
This is
we're not
massively.
threatening.
This is massively.
If we're threatened,
You
then
know,
I'll
do you
apologise.
know your pace and what it actually says. I don't have to give
No,
that
I was
this
just being
moment in
friendly
time.
with you.
I know. Well, you're not. 'Cause you're not answering these questions.
I'm trying to answer some questions. but
So
it's
now
also
we need to see the authority and the paperwork that allows you to be here and for
Well,
them to be here.
You'll have to speak to them.
Who's them?
The agents here,
So can you
agents
give him the
and-
authority because he's employed you to be here
He's not
today?
employed us.
He has, because on the paperwork that I've seen.
That might be what you believe, but we're only here as a separate entity to prevent any further breaches of the peace or
So
any
you-
breaches of the peace.
So you know now there's no breach of the peace.
We're here to prevent a breach of the peace.
Well, where's the prevention?
It's being here.
It's not, but
Hopefully there won't be. Yeah.
You cannot.
I'm hoping there won't be, and that's why we're here, only to prevent. All right.
Why do you need so many?
This was booked in on the 27th.
So books on saying, guys don't realise you're actually breaching the peace here. You're breaking the law.
Just very briefly, you mentioned something about being at an appointment of some kind where the
It is,
police
yeah, they've been
have arrived.
It's been pre-booked for these guys to be here. So that now is intense of breach of the peace because it's been booked in as a corporation. So it has no authority and no jurisdiction actually to be here. Under the guise of breaching the peace here, when it's been pre-booked, how can something be pre-booked and breach of the peace? That does not make sense.
Seems like a preemptive strike.
Very much so, yes. They're refusing to identify themselves. The Eon gentleman here, he's refusing to give his authority and where he's getting his authority for the paperwork. He has not there, and it's not been signed by all accounts. So that then is breaking the law. We know that. So on that guy's here, the police aren't doing their job.
I believe this footpath's closed, buddy.
Is it?
Yeah, you got CF Foxtrot 3-2, myself, and you got.
How do you manage to close the footpath? Have you got some kind of warrant to do that, or some kind of legal right?
I've been given authority by the person that's apparently on that name on there. So by this young gentleman.
That individual, yes.
Yeah, so I've given the authority now to have a look at the paperwork.
You can have a look at the warrant. Who's
Warrant? That's not.
right? Okay.
The warrant cannot be on the.
I can show him. He's already taken, didn't he? He took pictures of it. I think
You need to have.
He's not here anymore.
A warrant needs to be a piece of paper.
He took pictures, didn't he?
A warrant needs to be a piece of paper. It cannot
It does
be.
not need to be a piece of paper, it's electronic.
No, because
Right, well,
electronic
I'll
cannot
just
be.
avoid the conversation.
Well, let's have a look there first, please, because I need to see if it's authorised. I need to see the data.
I've got a photo.
No.
He's got a photograph of it, so.
So you're not there. You're not only are you not identifying yourself, you have no jurisdictional authority here. You have no
Both warrants have been
original
shown.
paper. No.
Yes,
That is
they
not.
have.
Yeah, they're not signed.
They have been.
They're not. Who's been signed them? I've been asked to ask these questions on behalf. So
The individual's already seen the warrants as
no,
well.
no. I've been asked to ask these questions. Why are you avoiding answering these questions?
To answer you.
Yes, you do. I've been asked. I've been given
I
permission to
don't
ask
need
these
to
questions.
answer yourself.
So, well, I've been given permission.
That's nice.
So you're now being obstructive to law.
No.
You can see this, guys. He's been obstructive to law because you know he's breaking it. You guys know that you'll be breaking the law when you're digging up here. Because the paperwork that he's going to show you
It's a
has no
public place.
but it's no jurisdiction on that
The
paperwork.
utility companies have every right to dig up their utilities.
It's a utility company. So we know that they don't supply the gas and electric because you just named it there as a utility company. What jurisdiction as a utility company do you have to put it here? You have none. And you know very well you don't have none.
Can I just ask you, is there actually a name on the actual warrant?
It's absolutely bugger
Can you tell me what that name is?
This is corruption.
Could you just tell me briefly what that name is?
It's just so
Don't stand outside. Do you want to come this side or walk over there then?
Can you just tell me what the name is on the warrant?
Nope.
Are you uttering a fraudulent document?
Nope.
Do you know what uttering is?
Uttering? Speech, usually.
Yeah, if you're passing that off to be non-fraudulent, then you're committing an offence. Big operation today, ain't it? I'm here to report on what's happening. Can I just ask you, who's your data controller? Because I need a copy of the video. Is that your personal phone? Because you're working for a company, I need to know who your data controller is. Could you just tell me that, please? I've collected evidence today of a crime. Who's your data controller? If that's your personal phone, you'd be advised not to put it on the internet because you're working.
I shan't be putting anything on the internet.
I'll just to advise you, if I can get a copy of that, I'll put it on for you.
Yeah.
So who's your data controller? So be careful of breaking GDPR rules.
I shan't break anything, don't you worry.
You won't break anything.
No.
What about your heart? Do you think you might break your own heart when you see what's happening here?
No.
When you find out the truth? So they've got a digger here as well, so it looks like they're trying to dig up the road. It wouldn't be wise, because they'd have to come out and reconnect it again. Who's paying for all this? And who's paying for the police?
Okay. I'm just ringing in relation to the. So we've got a lot of the private, public media groups here. So all I'm ringing for is a point of contact if we need one for them to liaise with if need be. Yep. Yeah. A bit of room. How long do you think it's going to back? Get the clowns in a uniform, that's all they are. Quick job.
Thank you, Sergeant.
I'll be honest, I'm being followed around by the media group. So what I'll do is I'm happy with what you said, and I'll take that as a given. That's fine.
I am here to execute a warrant.
A warrant? What's the warrant for?
The warrant was to inspect a gas and electric meter.
For safety?
Yes.
Did you obtain that warrant fraudulently?
Obviously not.
How do you know it's obvious?
How do I know it's obvious? Because I've got the warrant in my possession.
Did
I
the
know where
judge
it's
see
come
that
from.
warrant application?
Yes.
I saw there's a name of the warrant of the judge who signed it off, is there?
It's an electronic warrant.
So there will be a name of the judge on the warrant?
There is a name of the executioner.
Just be careful, I think you're uttering right now, and the police, if they act on your behalf, they will be uttering as well.
They're not acting on my behalf at all.
Well, if you're claiming to have a warrant...
I didn't say the police were acting on my behalf, did I?
If you're claiming to have a warrant and it's turned out to be fraudulent and hasn't got the name of the judge on it, then you could well be uttering a criminal offence. Right, so none of these people know what uttering is. It is actually a criminal offence. They just think it's chatting, talking to people. Hello there. Just a quick chat with you. What time did you actually arrive today? Because I don't know.
You're going to have to speak to the sergeant or the press office, I'm afraid.
One 4268. If you could change that number, and then we've got something there, mate.
Who's breaking the peace? Well, you all know that. I can see it all on your faces. All on your, especially yours. I can see it all on your faces. That you know that you're doing wrong here today. Yeah. All of you. All you have to do is do your due diligence.
So, a quick question for you. What have you been advised regarding press?
Teams, we're going to get a contact number for yourself. We're going to have a contact number for you. So if you're not happy with what we're answering here, which we've answered quite often now, if you'd like to speak to our media team, we'll have a telephone number shortly that you can call.
I haven't actually spoke to you yet. Can you just tell me, has there been any arrests today?
I've personally not been involved in any arrests today, but you are currently in the road, so I need to get...
Yeah, so are you, sir. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying? Has there been any arrests?
I'm not going to be advising of that because that's not something I need to answer.
Okay, and so regarding any more questions, do you not want me to come to you?
I've got a media contact for you shortly that I'll give you. If you'd like to contact them, you can. We're here to prevent a breach of the peace, and that's all we can say. There's nothing more to say.
Can I just say, I've actually contacted your media department already on the way down.
Okay.
They've been very obstructive.
Okay, what number did you contact them on?
Derbyshire Press.
Do you know what number did you use?
0300.
Because what I'll do is, have you got a number you're getting Teams? Does it come through yet? Joey's.
Is he just messaging it?
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll check that number's the same.
0300.
I'm not sure.
It is.
I'm not
yeah.
sure, so I'll find out for you.
I just want to say they have been actually obstructive.
Okay. Well, that's another department to myself. I'm just here at the moment preventing the breach of the peace with my colleagues. That's why we're here.
Now then, it looks like they're going to be digging up the road from this side. I've come to know that you've actually been drafted in on overtime today. Can you just confirm, is that correct?
Do you want me to confirm that number for you?
Is that correct?
I'm not answering your question.
Yeah, sorry, what's the number?
0300.
Yes.
122 8903.
Yeah, and some of your officers, I've been told they've come in special duties. They're working overtime. Do you feel special? You're like a Viking.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, thank you.
How long's your hair?
Shoulder length.
It's like a girl's length, isn't it? Well,
opinion?
I'm old-fashioned, aren't I?
Your opinion?
I used to have long hair as well. How long is yours under that hat? He's in a bobble, you see. Is yours in a bobble?
I'm not going to be engaging with you. Try someone else.
Oh, I don't want to get engaged to you. I'm already married. No, that's a lie. Can you lie to the police? Are you winking? Who are you winking at?
The dog.
The dog. Right, so as the situation is now, there's no work being carried out right now. They're setting up to dig up the road. And I do believe what will happen next is police assist, in my view. So I've seen the paperwork now. They're saying you can close off the footpath.
Okay.
What's the footpath closed for?
No comment.
Where would I get a copy of that warrant or instruction?
No comment.
Who do you work for?
No comment.
And are you video recording?
Yes.
Who's your data controller?
No comment.
You have to tell me that by law.
You can do a subject access request via Eon. You can go online to eon.com and do a SAR via there.
And what reference number have we got for this SAR?
You can just do it for the address.
The footpath has got paperwork to close off. It was granted a couple of days ago and executed for the 1st of November 2023. So it looks like either the gas or the electric or both is about to be dug up. Now, it's my understanding now that this is actually just to make an example for people not to follow in the footsteps of Billy. They're using Billy as an example to deter people from doing this kind of thing themselves. I don't know what your views on the matter are, but any comments in the comments, I'm sure will be a great debate. Excuse me! Health and safety issue! These people need earmuffs. You need to extend your safety barrier, health and safety issue. So, for reference, we're actually breaching health and safety now. You need to give people ear surroundings because you are breaching health and safety right now. Your safety zone is not large enough. This is a breach of health and safety. Your safety zone is not large enough, or you should provide earmuffs for people. You are breaching health and safety. They're actually breaching health and safety. Where's your sergeant? Where's your sergeant? Sergeant, they're actually breaching health and safety right now for earmuffs. They need to enlarge. These
I'll
enlarge.
give you the contact number for our media department.
I'm just advising you, they're breaking the law.
Thank you.
So what are you going to do about it?
At this time, I'm happy.
They're breaching health and safety. They need to make that barrier further out because people are too close to that pneumatic drill.
Okay.
They need to provide earmuffs for people.
I respect your opinion.
Or extend the safety zone. Okay. Health and safety issue. And you're not going to do anything about it?
No.
Disgusting.
Okay.
It's not about freedom to walk away. That barrier is the defining line for the safety zone. Some people are a little bit stupid or acting stupid. One or the two. You're providing earmuffs. Can I have a pair?
It's because we're going to go in close to the barrier, so I'm looking after the health and safety of the officers.
So you need to actually extend that barrier for health and safety reasons. You know that, don't you?
No, you're choosing to go near the barrier. We're
So,
not.
no, that's not the point. Your safety zone is not large enough. You know that, don't you?
That one's clean.
Well, the hyena, all the way.
Yeah, buddy.
Who's in charge of health and safety here?
You're right, mate.
Do you know who's in charge of health and safety here? Do you know who's in charge of health and safety?
I'm just going to sort this out at the moment.
Right, okay.
Could do with the picture of everybody's warrant card.
I have to send it to both of these.
So what's this for,
Are
sorry?
you okay going closer to the
Mont
barrier?
Road.
Mind your back!
Are you alright tuning in? Carry on.
It's okay. If you need them to go near to the barrier, you've got them here. Is that alright?
Yeah, what are we doing with people coming up to the barrier?
At the moment, I'm happy. It's just passive.
Who's the health and safety? Who's responsible for health and safety?
This is unbelievable.
Please, thank you.
Who's responsible for health and safety?
Should our safety go? Have they done a risk assessment here as well?
Excuse me, sir. Can I squeeze past you?
Sorry?
Can I squeeze past you, sir?
Yeah, if you wish, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Who's in charge of health and safety on site?
You're responsible for ourselves.
You're not responsible. What about the public? Your barrier is not far enough away from the public when they're stood next to the barrier. You need to create a bigger zone, and I'm bringing that to your attention.
That's what we're doing now, mark out a bigger area.
All right. But it looks like they did listen.
Yeah, but all this flying goggles and...
How many days a week?
I'm always doing this, so.
Are your ears okay?
Yeah.
They're extending the safety zone now. What would you like to say to people watching this? You look like a Viking.
Oh, just mind the backs. Let this van go past.
Yeah, I won't block the highway, don't worry.
Somebody's pulling in there, deep bleeding.
You don't look like a Viking. Have you ever considered growing a beard? Well, it's only a simple question. I think your beard looks good. Take care. It's good to see the health and safety issue has been taken seriously now.
Health and safety, well.
Yeah, well, you see, you know, you've got to create that health and safety with your barriers. And they've now stopped, well, whoever barriers they are.
A pair of those squidgy ones, or yeah, just so I can then I can just have more people then go. Cheers, thanks.
Could I have a pair of earphones?
I've run out. That was my
Earmuffs.
spare, mate.
Could I have yours out your ear?
I ain't got any.
You got wax in your ear, haven't you? I'll use that. You got wax in your ear, haven't you?
Pardon?
You got wax in your ear, haven't you? Eh?
One and a bigger one, and this guy doesn't seem to believe us. You don't believe us?
I've never said I don't believe
Well,
you.
I heard you earlier say that we'd given you a different age this morning. Clearly, we didn't. Now, the lads coming out of the house is 40. Coming out now.
So are you happy for us to enter and look at the electricity meter?
And do what we need
And
to
that's
do.
all we...
With anything, there's a 14-year-old in
No, but all we want to do is inspect the electricity meter inside.
And all I'm saying to you is that you're cutting off gas and electric with two young children. Okay, well, you're cutting off the gas with two young children. So to prove to yourself.
I believe you. I do.
Have I got this right? You just want to do a safety check?
That's it.
So once you do a safety check...
Who wants to come in to do a safety check?
I'm happy to come in and just do a safety check on my own.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna inspect it and take a photo and have a look.
The electricity meter. However, if the electricity meter is not one we have got record, we do have to remove it and put a...
That's nothing to do with safety. Because that could have been fitted by a qualified electrician.
Only a person with an appropriate licence can fit those meters and remove the fuse.
Or a gas fitter.
How do you know that
Gas fitter.
But
for the gas outside, yes.
We just inspect it, then we know where we are.
Yeah, but how do you know?
So you want to just...
How do you
Sorry.
know?
This
that
gentleman wants to go in
Yeah.
and inspect the electricity meter.
Right. Well,
That's what he's asked to do. Take a photo.
And if you actually just inspect the meter, you're actually going to go away.
As long
I'm not
as
saying
there's
that.
no issue,
I'm saying
as long as there's no health and safety breach or issue, we will walk away.
That seems reasonable. Have you actually conveyed that message?
That's what we said first thing this morning.
Is it?
Exactly, several times. That's exactly before any of this happened. We asked just to go in and inspect the meter.
See, isn't it good to get your opinion across?
Sometimes, but not everybody listens to us.
Well, thank you for that. Okay, that's reasonable, I suppose. So is the barriers across the road something to do with yourselves?
Well, they don't belong to us now. They're Cadence.
Right, I see. So you're working together.
Well, we like to work together for the simple fact that we all provide the same kind of gas, electricity, things like that.
Yeah, did you actually order
They own the pipe work underneath the ground there. So
Yeah.
if they want to dig up that ground and do what they're doing, they can do.
So did you correspond with the police prior to this engagement at this property?
Personally, no.
What about your company?
I believe so.
Right, okay.
I think they have their own incident number running and everything. So anything they have to say, that has to go through them, obviously, not to us. We can't speak on their behalf.
Fair enough. It's my understanding that they just want to check the meters and then they'll be off.
Is that correct?
That is, as long as we do.
Because the gas meter has been checked and a safety check been done on the gas meter previously, hasn't it?
We know the gas meter has been changed, though.
Yeah, but it's safe. It's had a safety check on it.
I can't comment.
Well, we've got video and we've got the telephone conversation with Sam when the engineer said and confirmed the tightness test, and the gas meter's safe. So you want to check the electric meter?
To go inside, check the electric meter. As long as
So
everything's all right.
if we let one person in,
Yeah.
one person with one of our people to
Yeah.
check that meter, this will all stop.
Yeah.
As long as that meter's safe.
The electric may stop, but we have to do that visual inspection and make sure it's safe. If
So-
if there is a meter on site,
Yeah.
which we have not got on record, I would have to change that
You
meter.
can't change that because it's not yours. You can't take that meter. It
That
belongs
would
to
be
somebody
theft.
else. That's theft.
That's theft.
Isn't it? But you can't take somebody else's
Right,
property.
This child here is 14 years old and he lives in the property. Okay?
Who do you live there with? Who do you live there with? Sorry.
Never mind, we're not talking about that. What we're saying is He's 14 and he lives in the property. Okay? So you cannot turn something.
Why was that not identified to us earlier on when we came?
He was. It was.
It wasn't. It wasn't identified.
He's do you know what? You've got a 14-year-old child here that's frightened of this. He's frightened. That's why he didn't identify himself.
You've actually been informed now. You're actually aware now, aren't you?
Not to
Right,
close
but
any
we're still
of
not
this. All
allowed
we
access
wanted
into
to do
property
is
to inspect the
visually
meter.
Look at the meters. We were stopped and told we're not going to be getting entry to the property.
Well, hang on a minute. I can argue with that because we've seen a warrant to say.
What,
that
to the electric meter?
On the 25th of, was it 25th of October? 25th of October, you'd made an application for all this and you'd asked the police to come.
See, I'm not aware of that.
Well,
I'm an engineer and all I'm doing is coming to make sure the equipment's safe.
Well, let me just tell you. Apparently, you made an application on the 25th of October and asked the police to come.
Why is that?
Asked the police to come to keep the peace.
Right.
Okay? So you knew about
Why
this.
should I be ashamed?
Look, what? Are you saying that's letter on the letter?
I'm sorry?
Wording on the letter?
You don't know what you're doing.
Do that, okay.
Yeah.
So now that there's vulnerable people in the household, what are you intending to do now?
Carry on as we are.
Just do a safety
But
check?
electricity will still be on, but we'd like to gain access to get in and check the electricity meter.
What are you digging up the road for it?
I'm not stood talking to you.
No. What are they doing?
They want to inspect the gas and electric.
Yeah.
What do you make of all this?
They've inspected the gas once before and they've done a tightness test and I've witnessed it, that they were on the phone to E.ON and the gas is safe. Now they're saying they want to check the electricity meter. And they want to take it away, but it's not their property to take away. It's somebody else's. Now, I've just been speaking to this police sergeant, constable, whatever, and told him there's a 14-year-old vulnerable person in the house, and he said that's not his problem. That's Mr. Morell's, whoever Mr. Morell is. I don't understand.
I think what they've done, they've arrested Mr. Morell, so it now becomes a problem for the police because they have a welfare duty to those children.
Have you arrested Mr. Morell?
We've got it all, we've got all the evidence.
I do believe they've arrested him.
What for?
I really don't know right now, but I do believe he was arrested first thing.
Stand up. Go and arrest him.
I didn't know that.
Evidence. 3 years.
So you've got a duty of care for welfare, haven't you, as police officers? And you know there's vulnerable children? So what you're potentially overseeing now is the cutting off of a gas supply, and there's children in the property.
Yeah, there'll be a safeguarding process as well.
There will be, there?
Yeah.
Can you just describe what a safeguarding process is?
I could, but I'm not going to promote, but I don't need to. I've answered your question though, haven't I? Again, I've given you the number for our media department. If you'd like to contact them about what that means, they'd answer that question, but that is something we factored into this, yes.
Have you contacted social services?
Again, I don't need to go into that because it's personal information, private information about people, but the safeguarding process will be instigated during and after this incident. I've answered your question, haven't I?
We're trying to educate this boy.
If you can guarantee that all this is going to stop, we'll take you in. You do what you got to do.
No, I cannot guarantee.
Well, what's the point of taking you in then, Ash?
I just heard from the
gas
police
may
that
not-
they're going to
the
put some
gas
kind
may
of
not,
social
but the
welfare in place for the underage.
Okay.
So I asked the police, have they contacted social services? So the social services may end up turning up because of this situation.
No problem.
I just want to make you aware of that.
It's not our property.
No, it's not. You're absolutely
And
right.
I'm just here to make sure that none of these
So if social services turn up, surely they have an act for health and safety where we're stating we need to inspect that meter.
Yeah.
They would be
I'm
on
not
our
saying
side.
we're happy to take you
there's
in.
Are you happy for me to get
as
my
long as you,
toolbox?
as long as you can stop this, we'll take you in.
You can inspect it, but you can't take it. You can't take it off the wall. You can't take the supply off.
Well, if they take it, that would be theft.
no,
so
they
that,
don't want to take it off and put it on the floor and leave it there.
I've seen that done before.
And put another meter in.
I have seen that done before, I must admit.
And all of this will stop then, yeah?
Well, as far as the electricity,
Yeah.
God, we'll not take any further.
If you allow me to go in, inspect the meter, if it is not our meter on site, I will take that one off. Like you rightly say, it's their equipment. I will put, legally, I will put our meter on, and then that is done.
I don't know whether
that's still going to be breaking the law because I can't give you permission to take that meter
I
off.
understand
can I?
that. No,
Because
but someone,
it's not my home.
Someone.
But if you want to speak to someone and say,
I can't because they've arrested him and taken him away.
Right, so why don't we get inside and see what meter is on site and make sure the installation is safe?
And leave the meter there.
As long as we
As long as it's safe.
If it's safe, what's the problem?
Because we can't deem if it's safe if it's not our equipment.
So you're just happy to leave the meter on the side?
Yeah, I'm happy to leave.
What about the main fuse? Whose is that?
That is
grids.
The grids.
Are you sure? Because that could be theft, you know, if you take that and it's not the grid.
Well, I'm not taking it out, am I? All I'm going to do is pull that safely.
What I'm going to do. I'm going to have a quick chat, and I'm going to come back to you. Okay, about the electric meter. I think the gas is the same problem here, guys, because the gas meter has been checked and it's safe.
you go have a conversation to see if we can get access. I'll have a conversation with these guys.
Okay.
And then we come back together.
Okay. Give me a couple of minutes.
Right, so I'm just going to leave them to have the conflab and have a discussion. See what happens now.
I can't allow you access. Yeah. My problem.
And obviously you've got some guys here that are there to protect this man's home.
Yep.
The decision of the people here is they will allow you to go in and have a look, but this needs to stop right now.
He's just on the phone to a big gaffer with
Okay.
regards to doing that.
The only way of this now stopping as well, or depends how far Cadence gone, is we would have to change the meters, gas and electricity meter.
Well, they don't have to be smart. We can just put.
I don't want smart meters putting in.
Credits put in.
No, I don't want credit meters putting in. Just normal U6 gas meters.
No.
that's what
We
we
class credit meters as just normal meters.
Okay.
Not a pay-as-you-go meter.
That's how we refer it. It's either smart meter.
All right, so I'm going to say yes to that right now,
Yeah.
but I need him and you to tell these lot to back down, fill that hole back in, and go.
Yeah.
Have you got an agreement?
If we can get access and confirm that we can change the meters, just dumb meters. Not putting
Okay.
smart or anything like that in.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Do we have an agreement there?
Then we know.
That's all we're
everything
here
is
to
safe.
do.
Right, let's do that then.
We just want to make sure
Yeah, I think-
everything's safe. That's
Right,
all.
Can I say, you're actually doing a better job than the police.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me. We've just had a conversation with the people up there. We're now going to allow them access so this can start, so they can actually change the meters. And they've assured us that if they can go in and change the meters, this will stop. Are you happy? Are you happy with that?
We're only here solely to prevent any.
I understand. I just don't want you to think that I'm getting too cocky or getting in the way. I just don't want any trouble here.
They
Yeah.
want to have a conversation with us. And that's what.
Okay.
That's fine.
Could I borrow you a second, please, guys? Yeah.
I think you guys could take a leaf out of this guy's book.
Right. So this guy here, I've had a conversation with him. Please, and
Can I just? I want to speak to the gas guys.
Okay, mate.
And then I'll come back and talk to you. That's
Okay. Have you cut any gas pipes yet? Can you backfill?
Yeah.
You can backfill.
You give us access, yeah, we'll back it up.
Right. Okay. Excuse me, did you hear that, yeah?
No,
They can backfill that hole if we give them access.
Once we've done the metering,
Yeah.
if we've done the metering, they'll backfill everyone's good.
Are you
If
happy
we
with that?
exchange the meters to our meters, if it's not our meters on
Okay.
site, we'll leave, they can backfill, and everyone will be there.
Right, Sergeant.
Sergeant, you shouldn't be getting involved right now. You're here to observe the peace.
My agent thinks it's good.
Watch your back.
They're happy to
Can't get through.
I'm aware of that. Yep. That's fine. I'm happy with that. With that.
I'm happy with that.
As well.
That solves the problem, makes everybody happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a load of your
Common sense prevails.
No.
That's what we wanted from the
agreed is
beginning.
one man
Okay.
and one of us, and it'll be me.
I think that's what they wanted from the outset. So
But Billy Morell was arrested, so I can't even really give permission to go in here. I'm just taking it on my head.
Yeah, that's not. I said the people going in and out of that address. That's not something that we're involved in.
Okay, so what I've suggested is I will go in with one guy whilst he does what he's got to do.
Are you happy with that?
I'm not
nothing to do with
unhappy
us.
or happy because I can't.
Okay, but
you'll
you'll understand that that's not breach of the peace. These people aren't breaching the peace. I've not breached the peace. You haven't. We're just going to let them have access.
As long as they're all happy, agreed.
Thank you very much.
We're solely there to prevent a breach of the peace.
Are you happy with that? Oh, come on. Are we happy?
Right, I'll just give them the privacy for now because everything seems to be going positive. Yeah, they're just in the process of making it happen, as they say. They've even shook hands on it.
Oh, sure.
Is that a gentleman's agreement?
Must be right. Make a phone call then.
They say common sense prevails.
That's it, get your tarmac back in all day long.
Guys, if I could just get 30 seconds. Right. We've got them to stop this now on the understanding that we give them access to the meters to change it. Now, I think that's the only way we can deal with anything at the moment, because otherwise there's going to be no gas and electric in this house. We're going to have welfare down here because we've got a 14-year-old child. This ain't going to stop. We ain't going to stop them. So the choice we've got is we allow them access to change the meters, which we know what will happen after that anyway. And I think that's the safest way to stop this today.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
No police.
It's just one of them and me.
No police, no.
No police, it's just them, one of them and me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Well, it looks like the people power, as they say. Common sense prevailed. What do you say?
If it was a good bluff. It was a good bluff on their part.
It was expensive bluff, wasn't it?
It was expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah, money don't matter, does it? They don't care, do they?
The police said they're only here to prevent a breach of the peace.
As usual. That's all they're ever here for, isn't it?
I do believe the people prevent the breach of the peace themselves. It's the police that usually cause it.
How can they justify
I'm going to go in with one man.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and I don't want you causing any problems. When we come out and that hole starts being backfilled, we'll disperse. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. You all happy?
You don't know what's going on right now, do you? No. I can tell you if you want. Now then, I'll tell the Viking. And you're growing a Viking beard as well. Now then, what's happening is a gentleman agreement's been reached and they've shook hands on it. So you'll be going back to station shortly. Well, that's the plan anyway. So, anything you'd like to say to anybody watching this?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And as you can see, looks like the hole is going to get filled in later. I've been told that the ones who dig it can't fill it. So, work that one out. Is that all to do with making money? Another money-making scam? Interesting. How did they get all that out of that hole? They put it all back in now. It's a bit of a mound, as well as a bit of a mess. But as you can see, everybody's gone. Apart from the gas and electricity people, because they're still here. Have you just about completed your checks on the gas?
Yeah, I've just got to wait for the electric to go back on and I can complete my checks.
I notice everybody's gone now. They've left you behind.
I know. The street's empty, mate.
Can I just ask you, do you ever turn up to incidents like this before?
Yeah, I've seen you before.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't recognise you. I didn't video you before, did I?
You have, yeah.
Where was that at? Sheffield?
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield.
Down near the school.
Oh yeah, I know
Dead
the
end
one.
one.
Where the armed police turned up.
That's it. I weren't there the second time.
That was a bit overkill, weren't it?
I weren't there the second time.
Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I've seen it, mate, yeah. I'll check you out, don't worry.
To check me out, what for? I'm just holding you accountable. And you appear to be a nice friendly chap.
I am, mate, and I've had this conversation with you before, and we're sound together.
Oh, did they ask you if you were going for something to eat in your van?
Yeah, there's a Greg's round the corner, wasn't there?
Oh, I remember you now. Yeah.
There's another bloke who looks like me, who also sounds, so...
Fair enough. You know, it's nice to see you being professional, and I think that's great, because public interest in this is great, you know.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, we all want everyone to be safe and, you know, secure and...
You mentioned safe. I do understand that warrants are usually obtained for safety reasons.
That I don't know, mate. I just do the engineering side.
Yeah,
of
but
things,
what really makes me start to think is when they come out for safety reasons, when they check that things are safe, they take away the meters. That, it's a bit like fraudulent, in my opinion, false representation.
wouldn't know. I'm not in that department. So.
Just seems a bit odd, that's all. Anyway, you have a nice day.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
I'll probably see you
another time.
on the next one.
Yeah,
Maybe we should exchange numbers. Say, right, I'm going to this one next. So it's been an interesting day today, hasn't it? I've seen a lot of professionalism, you know, and a lot of ignorant people, but I'm not going to go into that because at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, it's about professionalism. You seem like a nice guy, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah. What would you like to say to people watching this who find themselves in a similar situation?
I don't want to comment.
That's fair enough. Anyway, you have a nice day.
All I want to say is if you are struggling to pay, contact the supplier and see what help they can give you.
A vehicle's just turned up and it's come to fill the hole in. I think some of your colleagues have been down to make a hole for you to fill in.
They have.
Do you know what's happened?
Said something about gas.
Yeah, what they've done, they've come to dig a hole in the road, only to let you guys fill it in again. They've not done anything.
Not done anything.
Nothing.
Said something about someone stealing gas.
There's nobody been stealing gas from what I understand. I think you've been misinformed. I think you've been misinformed. The police have been, the police have gone, the gas and electric people are still here. You're just here to fill in the mess that they made earlier.
Right.
Anyway, I'll leave that with you.
Yes.
Hello there.
Hi.
Are you National Grid?
No.
Okay then. Do you work for National Grid? Subcontracted?
Yeah. Could be.
Right, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Now then, interesting day of events. What do you make of all this today?
I can't believe somebody's been arrested at the beginning of the day. I wasn't here to witness it, and I don't know why they've been arrested. We had quite a few police here, which I think you've seen on the video. Again, I don't know why they were here. Breach of the peace, apparently. This was quite easily resolved by actually talking to E.ON, talking to the police. And for today, there's been no breach of the peace. Only one person has been arrested, and I still don't know what for. These people are now filling the hole back in that they came to dig to try and frighten us to cut the gas off. And at the end of the day, it's been peaceful and it's finished for today.
What I find interesting is, one set of people dig the hole, and these have just turned up to fill it in. How does that work?
I think it's called making money. I don't get this. I don't think they get it. At the end of the day, they're just doing their jobs, aren't they?
What kind of meters have they put back in?
They wanted to put smart meters in. This isn't my home. It's not my property, and I personally said no, absolutely no. What? Like for like, you can stick a normal electric meter in and you can stick a normal U6 gas meter in. Anything else, and it's not happening today.
They tried to take away the original meters and gas and electric meter.
Yeah, they did.
Why couldn't they do that?
Because they weren't theirs. I believe, I could be wrong here, but I believe that those meters had been changed and installed by somebody with authority to do it, the correct paperwork. And those meters don't belong to E.ON. They actually belong to the guy who owns the house. It would have been theft if they'd taken them. So we had a discussion and they rightly gave us the meters and handed us the meters back. So on their behalf, they've done their job correctly.
A lot of police turned out, didn't they?
Yeah, far too many police. 13, 14, 15 police, again, for a gas meter. I have to ask you, is this police corporation actually value for money, and are they doing what they're supposed to be doing for you? Because to me today, they weren't here to serve and protect or protect and serve. They were here to see if they could get somebody to kick off and arrest us. And that won't happen. So long as I'm around, that won't happen.
Quite often the police will say, we're here to prevent a breach of the peace, but it's my observation when the police turn up, they're the ones who create it, because people look after themselves and don't breach the peace.
No, I think at the end of the day, this breach of the peace that they use, many, many times they arrest people for this. It goes to court, it gets thrown out, because there was no breach of the peace. The mere fact that we had 13 police officers stood there with their gas, and that, to me, that's breach of the peace, because I felt threatened, those people felt threatened, and that is breach of the peace. So, I don't understand what they're doing here. I really don't.
Oh, and by the way, Billy was released later that day without any charges.